All right, shalom, shalom. First things first, I would give all honor and praise unto Yahweh, Hashem, Yahushai, and Bashem Rachakodash. Say Barakati Yahweh, Barakati Yahushai, Barakati Yahweh, Barakati Yahushai, Barakati Yahweh, Barakati Yahushai, Bashem Rachakodash. And we give double honor to our apostles and elders, which are the apostle elders, a great millstone, which feeds us with knowledge, wisdom, and understanding through the spirit and power of Yahbashem Yahushai. 2024, which is the hopeful year of Jacob's trouble. Signs and wonders are being shown. Let's jump right into the story. I seen this, and man, this is a sign, man. You had two horses, or you had four horses running through the streets of London, and the white horse was covered in blood, as you can see the picture here. Blood-covered household cavalry horses run loose through London. Okay, so there's not a coincidence, especially in the animal world. Even if you look in the scriptures, the Lord, and by namely the prophets, all right, would use allegories with animals to represent certain things, especially when you go into the vision of John, Revelations, the 19th chapter, Revelation 6, Revelations 14. So different chapters and different symbolism was used when it related to horses, and specifically a white horse, all right, representing the horse that Yahushua is riding on, which is actually a chariot, okay? It's a big chariot. It's described as a horse, a mountain. All right. It's described as clouds. Okay. So these are some symbolism that's there. But this horse running through the streets of London, and I'm getting ready to play this video right here where the guy breaks it down, what happened and what spooked these horses. And he said it's extremely rare that this occurrence would happen. Okay, because they're usually training these horses so they could walk during parades and different public gatherings and not be spooked. So this occurrence in itself was what you call a freak occurrence. This is fair use. I'm not making no monetary gain. This is for educational purposes only. But these are heavy symbols, man. These are heavy signs. Let's go ahead and play this.
This keeps them fit and helps in. 3 of our soldiers have incurred injuries which are not deemed to be life-threatening.
And their soldiers were injured. And we know that Yahushua's coming to what? He's coming to dethrone. That's why it says he's the King of Kings and the Lord of Lords. Okay?
And they're receiving treatment in hospital, while our horses have all returned to Hyde Park Barracks and are undergoing veterinary care. Every morning, the Household Cavalry Mounted Regiment in London exercises some 150 horses in the parks and on the roads. This keeps them fit and helps inoculate them to city noise so they're less easily panicked on parades.
See?
This morning, however, a small group of horses were spooked by some construction works on a quiet side road in Belgravia.
And construction. And what do we know? What's in the time now? You got the building of the temple, okay? I just thought that was funny too, that, what actually spooked them was the construction that was going on.
Where building materials were dropped from height right next to them. The ensuing shock caused all horses to bolt and unseated some riders. Our immediate priority was the safety and well-being of our soldiers, members of the public, and
it says unseated them. Took them because horse also represents power. So it says that they were unseated from the horses. They were thrown from the horses, thrown from power. All right. So it's the symbols all over the place when it's coming to the situation right here.
Horses. We would like to express heartfelt gratitude for the swift responses of the Met Police, City of London Police, the Royal Mews, the London Ambulance Service, the London Fire Brigade, and members of the public in reacting as quickly as they did. This enabled swift treatment of our soldiers and helped bring our injured horses to safety. 3 of our soldiers have incurred injuries which are not deemed to be life-threatening, and they're receiving treatment in hospital, while our horses have all returned to Hyde Park Barracks and are undergoing veterinary care. Thankfully, considering the frequency of exercise and numbers of horses involved, this type of incident is extremely rare.
See?
And we continue to strive to minimize the risk of this recurring. Thankfully, considering the frequency of exercise and numbers of horses involved, this type of incident is extremely rare. All returned to Hyde Park Barracks and are undergoing veterinary care. Thankfully, considering the frequency of exercise and numbers of horses involved, this type of incident is extremely rare, and we continue to strive to minimize the risk of this.
Extremely rare. Extremely rare. Not just, this doesn't happen. It's extremely rare. So that's showing you that something else took place. All right, and for the colors of the horses, because I'm getting ready to jump into those right now, but the colors of the horses were even spiritual. Out of all the horses that could have been spooked during that time, why was it the black one and the white one, the main ones that were being seen? You know, sign or not, or if this is a symbol or symbolic from the elites coming down, or on the left or right hand side, regardless, it's a sign. You see? So let's go ahead and pull these scriptures. It says, what does a white horse in mythology mean? A white horse has special significance in the mythologicals of cultures around the world. They are often associated with the sun chariot, with warrior horses, with fertility in both mare and stallion manifestations, or with an end of time savior, which we know is Yahweh Shai. But other interpretations exist as well. Both truly white horses and more commonly gray horses with completely white hair coats were identified as white by various religions and cultural traditions. Okay, let's go to the myth. It says, from the earliest time, white horses have been mythologized as possessing exceptional properties, transcending the normal world by having wings, Pegasus from the Greek mythology, which was a white horse, or having a horn as a unicorn as part of the legendary dimensions. The white horse is myth, the white horse in myth may be depicted as 7 heads or 8 feet, something like that. It says, but here is this: as a rare and distinguished symbol, a white horse typically bears the hero or god figure in ceremonial roles or in triumph over negative forces. So even the animal kingdom and the Lord is showing signs that, look, because Yahweh Shai is that one that's going to be sitting on that horse. Okay, symbology, and the horse means power, which also goes into the ship that he's riding in. Okay, and it says Herodias reported that the white horse was held as sacred animals in the Achaemenid court of Xerxes the Great, ruled in 468 or 486 to 465 BC. While in other transitions and reverse happenings, when it has signifies like a sacrifice to the gods. So that's what you see when it comes into the white horse, okay? But then let's look at the black horse, because if we look here, we can see a white horse and a black horse. There were other horses that were spooked and they ran. But what's the chances of a white horse having blood all over it and then a black horse running next to it also? So those are coincidences that are something to be noticed. Okay, says horse. It says the horse is quite often a solar symbol, and in the Bible, it is often one of intelligence. See, according to its color, a horse may symbolize either destruction or victory. Fiery red and white, respectively. It is a myrtle archetype, and it might also symbolize impulsiveness, interpesis, or desire, and the instinctive impulse that motivates man. This association of the horse with dark human drives, such as fertility and sexuality, has been recently resent by numerous writers. It says is connected to many ways with aspects of the earth, specifically the sun, the moon, the water. We just had that eclipse. In addition, it is related to air and wind, acting as a mediator between heaven and earth. Let's go down here. The main point is what we need right here. And it says it carries many characteristics of the person as well, such as fertility, fidelity, sensitivity, strength, selfishness, anger, stubbornness. A figure highly associated with many aspects of war. See, black horses go into, and it symbolizes war. And what are we on the cusp of? We're on the cusp of a war. We on many fronts. You got the Asian Peninsula. You got the Middle East. You got the Baltic area, going into Russia, going into Ukraine. All these things, multiple fronts. They just passed this. $100 billion spending bill would go into the Ukraine, Middle East, all these different fronts. So now these different fronts have been endowed with more resources, okay, to push back and to make more moves, because some of them were at a stalemate. You got this Iran and Israel situation, which is also going into Ezekiel, the 38th chapter. So all these things are being said. The dominoes are right in order, man. And then now you have this situation with these horses that are running through the city as another symbol. Like the nature itself is obeying Yahweh Shem Yahshua's will. It says, a figure is highly associated with many aspects of war, especially in the Greek tradition. Colors, white omens of death, but also innocence and divinity. Black means famine, red war, gray devil. So certain meanings, but the main point, you got famine as a black horse also, and then white omens of death. See, and also innocence. But we know we're coming to that time. If you read the book of Ecclesiastes, it says there's a time for everything under the sun, and we're seeing these things now. Okay, so let's go ahead and pull some of these precepts, and then we'll go ahead and close on out. This is the book of Revelations 19, which is the main point, and we'll start at 11. This is Revelations 19, and this is Revelation 19 and verse 11. And it reads, let me go here. It says, and I saw heaven open, and behold, a white horse, and he that sat upon him was called Faithful and True, which is who? Yahushua. And we know this horse, if you know in the breakdown, and you've been studied, the horse is a symbol, just like you see in dreams, things symbolize things, allegories, metaphors. So the white horse is not actually a white horse. It's the chariot, that the vehicle that the Lord is riding in and coming back. But John seen it as a white horse because he wouldn't have been able to understand if Yahushua came in his full glory, what it was and what the breakdown was. I mean, the Lord could have told him, but he wouldn't have had a concept of what it was. So he symbolized that white horse, something his mind could correlate, if that's the word, with what he had in his mind, or what he able to symbolize it. It says, and he that sat upon him was called Faithful and True, and in righteousness he doth judge and make war. See, just said that it symbolizes war on the white horse's death and the omen. Because what is he coming? He says he's going to stain his vesture. And I got that scripture in Isaiah. And it says his eyes were as a flame of fire. Go back if you read Revelations 1. And when John described the look of Yahushua, he says his feet was bronze, burnt bronze, And it says, and he that sat upon him was faithful and true, and righteousness he doth judge and make war. His eyes were as a flame of fire, and his head were many crowns. See, because what is he coming back for? He's coming back to take over the earth and establish righteousness. And you got NATO, you got these different rulers that are ruling the earth currently. That's why their armies are going to be gathered to subdue him that sat upon the horse. It says, and he was clothed with a vesture dipped in blood. So now we have the Yahushua riding a white horse, and his vesture was dipped in blood. Vesture goes into what? His clothing, his garment. He's not going to be stained actually, but what is it? The amount of bodies that Yahushua is going to catch. It's going to seem, it's symbolic of him catching so many bodies that it stained his actual vesture. Just like the symbology of him in the wine press. And we'll grab that here shortly. And it says, and he was clothed with a vesture dipped in blood, and his name was called the Word of Yahweh. And the armies which were in heaven followed him upon white horses, which was also what? Chariots. That's why it says that the angels, the innumerable angels, are going to be following Yahushua in that time. And it says, clothed in fine linen, white and clean, and out of his mouth goeth a sharp sword, and with it he should smite the nations. See? And what is that going into NATO? The EU. Those are nations that are gathered together under that banner. And it says, and he shall rule them with a rod of iron, and he shall thread in the winepress of his fierce and wrath of almighty power. And it says, and he hath on his vesture and on his thigh a name written, King of Kings and Lord of the Lord, Malak. Oh, see, that's what you would see there, the word Malak for king. And the Lord of Lords. And it says, and I saw an angel standing in the sun, and he cried with a loud voice, saying to all the fowls that fly in the midst of heaven, come together. It says, come and gather yourselves up to the supper of the great power. And you see what? Because it says he promised them that they should eat kings. because you're going to have a lot of bodies in the time when Yahushua comes to judge. This is the book of Revelation 6 and verse 2. Revelation 6 and verse 2. Excuse me. It says, and I saw, and behold, a white horse, and he that sat upon him had a bow, and a crown was given him, and he went forth conquering and to conquer. See? So that's that symbolizing of Yahushua coming on that white horse. So what's the chances of a white horse and a black horse running through the streets of London simultaneously? Come on, man. And there was multiple horses that ran, but that's the one that was caught. Those are the ones that was caught on camera. And they're the supposed what is it? They used them as the photo of all this situation, if that makes sense. This is Revelation. No, let's jump to Psalms real quick. This is the book of Psalms 96 in verse 13. And it says, before the Lord, for he cometh to judge the earth. He shall judge the world with his righteousness and the people with his truth. See? And what is that truth? The knowledge, wisdom, and understanding that we've been given today. Okay? That's what you see, the truth that's flourishing through the planet Earth. Okay? And it's not no Most High in Christ blessed. It's the true name. That's what that name says. There's no name under heaven whereby men must be saved. Okay? It's Isaiah 63 and verse 3. It says, and I have trodden the winepress alone. So there's that winepress is symbology of the people. Okay, the land masses, okay, grapes, that's what the people symbolizes, grapes. It said, and of all the people, there was none with me. It said, that's why it says none shall deliver, okay, because he's going to actually come and deliver the elect out of the hands of the wicked. It says, for I will tread them in mine anger and trample them in my fury, and their blood shall be sprinkled upon my garments, and I will stain all my raiment. For the day of vengeance is in my heart, and the year of my redeemed is coming. Who's the redeemed? That's the elect, man. Okay? That's the elect that's been taken and called out of the planet Earth by way of this truth. That's why it says he shall judge them in truth. Because that's what's bringing the